Morning Legends, we're heading into the final round of BBL Supercoach for this season. A big thank you to everyone who's jumped in and watched these videos, the pre-season stuff during the season. And I do hope that you did end up with a fair bit of luck through these 8 rounds so far. It's a pretty incredible game where the swings are absolutely crazy. And you'll see here with certain guys just here in the top 10, you know, the guy that is coming first, James with Tarantula, picked up 1144 last, the round just gone, and guys in second and third beat him by 200 points. Third did, and just a tick under that at 170 odd points there for Clem in number 2. So it's the swings are crazy. And number 6, unfortunately, lost a few spots there with 1017. So it's very easy to lose lots of ranks or gain lots of ranks in this game and lots of points. So shout out to James, Clem, Adam, Jason, Lockie in that top 5, and shout out to our man Mitchell, who's in the JBFA community and at 17th with a 1382, an incredible week that's for sure. Shout out to Kane, Mr. Dr. Kando there, who runs the Podmasters. He's having a cracking season and a tough one last week, but a big improver, going up 50 spots this week. And then Jack, unfortunately 1150, probably wanted we needed about a 1300 to rocket him up, who was the top of our JBFA league, but is sitting at tied 25th with Kane there. And yeah, that would have been really cool to get him up sort of about 15th or something and get him close to the cash. So yeah, shout out to everyone for a really solid round, and good luck to everyone up top. But for myself, it was a much improved week. I did unfortunately change my VC late once I saw the bowling setup, and I was like, oh, Chowdhury's batting 4 and going to bowl probably 4 overs, but wasn't to be. And Mr. Owen had my vice captain, and I thought with the upside that he possessed with the bat would be great. But he ended up bowling a bunch of overs across the 2 games as well, and with that opening role is a better role than that of Chowdhury at 4. But they both scored well, but could have been into the 1200s for myself there, which would have been nice. But I picked fairly well in terms of my Hobart Hurricanes guys, and was pretty annoyed with Meredith coming out and picking up 3 far, but I'm into 800th overall, which is a good improvement there after a couple of average rounds through the middle there. And moving to the last round, hopefully a chance of making the top 500. That'd be really cool, or at least staying in that top 1,000. But for me there, ended up the sad one, actually, to be honest, not the vice captaincy. It was the decision to sell Jacob Bethel. These decisions are tough in this game, and I was like, well, it was him. I think I needed his extra $8,000, whatever it was. It was like 12,000 more than Zamps. I wanted to get rid of Zamps, but I was like, well, if I was to trade him out and use that extra cash that I had available, if Liam Scott ended up playing for that bowling slot, I couldn't move Weatherall down. If Liam Scott ended up playing, then I couldn't actually loop Chris Green's 154, which would have been rough. So that was where that call was, and I was like, he didn't look great the last couple of games, of course, when I owned him, and then he absolutely brained it in that game and bowled like 3 overs, of course. The 2 games before didn't bowl more than 1 over, so that was a bit of a shocker. To be fair, picked up 149 less points. So yeah, VCing Owen and keeping Bethel would have been absolutely spectacular, and of course Liam Scott didn't play in the end, and meant I could have kept Bethel and traded Zampa instead. So, as I said, decisions. It was the right call safety-wise, and Bethel could have struggled like he has in the last few games, and Zamps could have taken some wickets, but it wasn't to be, right? So I took that gamble, didn't pay off, unfortunately, and it could have been even worse. If he scored poorly, I kept him, and then Liam Scott played, which was a chance for sure in that game there, and then couldn't take Green's score. So there you go. But great score from Owen. Chowdhury was good. Wade solid in the end, batting low. And then Nathan Ellis 143. So lovely picks there. Was very happy with those 3 as trade-ins this week. All picked up 81 or above. Not short with the lower one this week. It was actually my bowlers that struggled for me. And apart from Ellis there and Green, who were both in flex and on the bench there, but my starting bowlers weren't as good, anywhere near as good as my keeper or my batsman. Let's look into this week, just quickly going through our leagues and where we're at. So JBFA crew got pumped. Lost projected 1,414. Whew, it's a big one there anyway. But JBFA, so we had those 2 overall. Where am I looking at? Podmasters. All right. And Andrew in 85th after another incredible season. Congrats to him. But Kando's a chance at obviously winning it, getting top 10, which is nice. And shout out to all these guys in the top 100, top 200, all doing a great job. And I hope to sneak into that top 500 there by the end of the season. But let's look at some options. And I don't think keeper's probably the play you want to go for this week when you've got, Duckett's gone now. I think if you do own a Wade or something like that, if you own a Seafit, I think you just hold those guys. Although at Marvel, it's not probably the best one to hold any of the Brisbane or Renegades keeper bats. But alas, if you've got Wade, I think you just hold on steady. There's not a lot going on there, to be fair. Billings is getting cheaper, but they might get rained out. Same with Philippi tonight. Could be rain affected anyway. Ollie Pope, a much better game from him, so that's someone that is more of interest. But again, the keepers, it's not a position I think you want to look at targeting. Allsop, had a good little game, which was nice, but they're on Marvel as well. And Lockie Shaw with the 62 as well. Good on him for those catches as well. That was incredible, and some good and really good hits there. On the batting side, we do lose Overton, so keep him in mind if he could potentially be a looping option this week. If you have a Weatherald like myself, he's a good chance of not playing. And just be aware of tonight's Sydney Smash. It is a chance of copping some rain for sure. But if Overton was the guy that you were selling, you just have to look straight up at the averages. And Smith, again, worries about tonight, but if it looks like it's going to be going ahead at 252k, he's going to be the best batsman there. And Marnus, what an incredible hit out that was. But again, at Marvel Stadium, they're the 2 games that I think as batters you probably might want to try and avoid or think twice about for sure. Whereas you want to look at the Perth game against Adelaide at Optus Stadium, and you want to look at the Hurricanes game as well up against the Stars at the MCG. I think they're going to be a little bit more inviting, although the MCG can be a bit hit and miss sometimes. There could be some good scores, and there could be some team scores, and there could be some low ones there. But how good was that chase from the Canes last night? The Cane train is rolling in. I need to go back and check the old days of Bev. I think he's still going. If everyone remembers Bev, let me know in the comments. From Hobart Hurricanes lover, that's for sure. But Matt Short, 261. Obviously, it's tough there. He did bowl a couple last game and likely is to bowl again with Overton gone. So at 261k, I'm happy to own him. I don't know if I would buy him at this point. But in terms of all-rounders or bowlers from especially that second game, the Renegades Brisbane Heat game, I think that's your target this week. I don't know if you want 1,000 of them, but I think bowlers from Renegades and bowlers from Heat, if that game works out exactly how you would hope, that would mean your all-rounders get a chance to bat earlier, right? If there's going to be a lot of wickets, and got wicket takers from Heat and from Renegades. So personally, right now, I only have bowlers from the Renegades, and I think I'll be targeting bowlers or all-rounders from the Brisbane Heat. Neeser, Johnson, Bartlett, these types of guys that, even Bartlett, he's gotten fairly cheap at 140k, which is pretty wild, so... And I'm Central Coast right now, and it's raining pretty hard. So good fun up here at the moment. But guys like Sutherland, I think have a terrific role in this game. Guys like Fergus O'Neill, for those that don't own him, which is not many that do, he's going to be solid. And then Rogers is very expensive, but Fergus is someone a little bit cheaper there for sure. Mitch Owen, definitely you could jump on again. He's looking really, really nice. Fielding, bowling. Potential for bowling, especially if Chris Jordan is out again, but we'll have to see on that one. He didn't play that last 2 games, sadly, for Chris Jordan owners. I know there's Brainball copped that one for sure, and that was a good guy to stash, but tough one. Someone I'm targeting as well, potentially a couple of Heat bowlers, and then Cooper Connolly at 144. It's a really nice price. He's averaging 62 for the season, bowling overs and batting at 4. I think he's a really, really solid guy to own this week at a really nice price as well. Warner, if things look okay tonight, you could take a flyer on him and see how it goes. Obviously, Bethel there can work out okay, but he hasn't batted too well at that stadium for sure. And Darcy Short at 133. If he's going to be bowling now, which it looks like he is, picked up 4 for the other night and didn't go as well in that round 8 clash compared to round 7, but batting at the top and bowling, I think it's a really, really nice little setup as well. So 133, if you have that cash, awesome. Do you trade any of your Hobart Hurricanes? I think Tim David's an interesting one. They have a pretty solid fixture, I think. He's batting fairly low, but still getting opportunities, and he had his opportunity to get the quick 20. but yeah, it wasn't to be, and he got that run out as well, which was really nice. So any owners of him, I think will be fine. You can hold, you can sell. Lynn, if he plays, he's a really solid pick as well. And then Webster, if he gets to go there. We're worried about Tom Curran returning, so it may take a few overs off Webster. So keep an eye out on that one there. In that one, and then Jack Edwards again. I don't think you're buying, you're just potentially holding. And what about the effort from Caleb Jewell? Big score from him. Congrats on that one. Yeah, Neezy with the 9, but at 143k, potential to bat higher in some games as well. I think he's fun at 143. And that's probably it on the batting side from averages. Yeah, we'll leave it at that one there. And then moving to the bowling side of things, let's just pretend you were removing Mr. Zamps from your side. Yeah, how good was Steckity? Steckity in Paris. They're on the MCG. Obviously, fairly big oval, which is helpful for catches on the boundary, as we know. But guys like Spencer, just an incredible season from him after a slow one last year, not performing as well as he would have hoped. Up at 74 average, he's the target bowler. I think from that side, he's bowling better, or bowling better wicket taking balls, I should say, at the moment, compared to that of Bartlett. And obviously luck comes into it as well. Behrendorff I grabbed a few weeks ago. It hasn't worked out as well as I'd hoped, with a couple of 45 and a 49, but he has every chance of going nuts at his home ground as well. Sean Abbott, a pretty unlucky, tough one for him. He got spanked. And then Lance Morris at 180. So two guys very expensive, but if you have Jamie Overton, then you've got cash available for sure to get to one of those guys. And if you've got any cash in the bank like myself, then yeah, you can spend up a little bit on those picks as well. With Richardson out, that's where it helps Morris. And then Agar's in there with could be a solid selection as well, but fairly expensive there at 156, but has been consistent. And then when we're talking about cheaper guys, Ferguson Neal at 112 is a really solid pick there. And if you're holding Meredith, I think you continue to and just play him. He should be fine. Apparently, Osama Mir has been extended, so he can play this game. And Lloyd Pope at 112, he hasn't scored as well in recent history, but we know he has wicket-taking ability, similar to that with Doggett after that really good game. So there are a couple of guys I think you can look to target in this final matchup, and it is the final game, guys. All singles, keeping it simple to finish off the season. And yeah, lots of guys that you can pick and guys that you can sell. I just think if there's a guy that you don't think has a tremendous amount of upside, or if tonight looks like it's going to get rained out or something like that, trade those guys out first. Thunder and your Sixers players would be pretty tough if you do own Smithy for that one. And then just your upside guys. So yeah, guys like Zampa, I think Overton will go for me. And yeah, number 3 is probably a little bit tougher, to be fair. If tonight's looking a bit tough, then Green could be the guy to go for me. He seems to be hitting a go nuts and then have a bit of a low one. So yeah, it's an interesting sort of setup for that. But there we go. That's it for the content that is going to come out for Big Bash this year. As an improved year for myself, even though a bunch of things didn't go my way, but to sit 800 with one round to go, and hopefully I think a pretty solid side to do well in the final round with guys like Behrendorff, Short, Sutherland, Owen with the upside there, Edwards if things goes well tonight, Tom Rogers as well, Ellis, yeah, there's plenty, and Finn Allen, there's plenty of good guys that could do well in this week's clash. I think I'll go pretty solid and hopefully an improvement. I hope you guys did well, and let me know in the comments where you're at heading into the last round, and if this is your best year, and just anything you want to say basically to finish the year. So thanks for this one, guys, and it's just going to be NRL from here. Super excited about it. Sorry again to the NBL guys, I've end up stopping the content on that, just getting the Big Bash done when I can, and locking into the NRL content in amongst work and everything like that can be busy. So there you go, guys. That's that one. We'll see you in the next one.